All right, so this is the part where I realize if there is any chance for me to save my hair today. I'm trying to rehydrate the whole thing, but I will probably have to do some sort of updo or whatever because I'm going out and like it's one of those days where yes you want to go out but your whole system is like really. So I will probably have to like trick my being into looking social so I can also feel social. So very supposedly powerful video today. I'm just trying to find the right page. This is fine. Supposedly powerful video today. This is going to be a... Sorry, I have hair all over myself. It's going to be a classical reading, so each and every group will have 4 cards because we're going to be directly in touch with ancestral and spiritual energy. Sorry, I'm just writing down the type. Okay, I'm really tired apparently. Powerful. That's the word that I was trying to write. Powerful. Yeah, so we need to also, like the small disclaimer that I wanted to do was about the need to understand that in this realm, the communication is different. I perceive it or I understand it as more direct, more stable because it is detached for the most part from materialistic needs. Okay, so we're going to play around the number of 4. Okay. Okay, you know what? Yes, we are going to do it like that. We are going to do it just like that. Okay. So I'm shuffling. I will put the timestamp for the group selection. I'm just like this is the little space for me to get into the mood. Okay, so I need to take my time. Okay, just 3. Organize my things, but already being, in the process of delivering the messages. And I also seize the chance to see if there's anything else that I can tell you as disclaimer, but no, I think that this is pretty straightforward. Okay, let's just get into it. Group selection. All right, we're going to have, yeah, it's the opposite. 3 groups today, and this is going to be a real pick a card, meaning that I picked 3 cards and I am going to put them back. So I am going to reuse the same runes, like if they come out, but like they are going to remain available to deliver the message. But the card that I'm going to show during the group selection is just for visual recognition. Okay, this is just to trigger your intuition towards one group or the other. So group number 1 has Orion. I don't know what messages are going to come out, but if you are interested in learning about the myth behind the cards, most of them have a dedicated video. If not, you can request it in the comments because it's part of my agenda. So I'm just going to prioritize that and everybody is going to be happy. Group number 2 has Cocalos. Okay, this is also to say that I'm not going to share many details about that, not during this group selection. Group number 3 has Europe. See you at your group. All right, group number one, you chose Orion. We're going to see throughout the reading if that myth in particular resonates with you. Now I see a familiar energy, like someone who, this is probably someone who passed, someone who was a part of um, your physical real family. That's what I'm trying to say, on Earth. And they might have passed before, like early or earlier, sorry, earlier than what was expected, or earlier compared to. Maybe this is someone, for some of you, this is someone who could have passed when you were just a baby, or a very, very small, very vulnerable child. Like you might have memories of this person holding you in their arms, and like could be something very, very strong because it's the only memory that you have, but at the same time it's also something quite strange, because of course you do not have the same body perception of yourself, that, like, if that makes sense. Of course you're no longer a baby. If you're on YouTube, you're probably older than what I was seeing in that very specific scenario. I see this energy as someone very calm, structured, like even if the house was messy, this person was always poised, or they always knew how to keep and maintain their poise, their composure, good posture. Something else that I was seeing, okay, you're okay. All right, so something else that I was seeing is that for some of you, you might, like, okay, the first message that this spiritual protector, this ancestor, wants to deliver to you is that it's kind of like, fear not, okay, like, don't worry, and also, like, don't think that I don't know, okay, because I see that this ancestor wants to advise you on a very practical matter, something that is probably work related, career related. I have this card here, Selene, that talks about dreams, trying to bring to fruition a big fat result, basically. And it's kind of like this ancestor knows that when they were alive, they didn't have much knowledge about whatever it is that you are working on right now. You might have had a very close connection to this person, to this soul, like on a heart-to-heart level, but on a technical level, it's kind of like they anticipate your skepticism in letting their energy guide you through this process. It's like they imagine you as a little bit of a teenager towards them, and they understand that, okay? But they anticipate your reaction. It's like, what do you even know? Like, they see your pain. They see your pain. I can feel it too in this very moment. There is an abandonment wound that they see, that they wish they could do. Oh, I was way too tired to feel like that, so this is clearly not mine. They see your pain and they wish they could do something about it. Like they wish that their unconditional love for you could touch you more. They wish that you can you could open up yourself a little bit more to their energy, because I do see that they have a lot that they want to offer to you, and they kind of want to show off a little bit. Like they haven't been they were hidden this whole time. They were not a part of this plane, of course, but they were not gone basically. And they learned stuff. If you know something about the Akashic records, and well, some pretty heavy experimentation have been done over that, for example, but it's kind of like a database. And sorry, people who are psychically connected can extract a certain amount of data from that, let's call it, well, some might have called it this the collective subconscious. Some picture it as like a giant library, infinite library, a plane over the plane. So personally, I feel like the best way to approach it is find a way that is comfortable for your brain to understand the unseen. Okay, so it can be something as basic as understanding that alive energy is a continuum. So you don't go from like alive to unalive like that. It's a process. And once the body is fully unalive, the process can continue energetically. And I see that in this case, I see that this person also wants to low-key share their shock. Like they were the first ones who was not fully prepared to go. They didn't want to go, basically. They didn't want to break the norm like that. Sorry, I need to fix the light. I'll be back in a second. Sorry. What I was saying is that they didn't want to break your stability like that. They didn't want to. That was not their plan. They had a plan. They were. Maybe this is someone who was quite a risk taker, and it didn't went as like it went a little bit wrong, basically. And they see this trauma in your present energy, in the sense where you kind of try to control your life, to be a little bit strict with yourself, because whether you are conscious about it or not, whatever it is that happened with this person really left a scar, a mark. Now, there is some sort of wish fulfillment that you are trying to work on, and I see that there is fear related. Like, you're trying to bring something to fruition. You are trying either to get accepted into something, get approved into something, or what I was also saying, make sure that something remains permanent. And what this ancestor, this spirit, this guardian is telling you, first and foremost, no, we already did their own disclaimer, but secondly, like, there's a second package of important information, that it's about the need to be patient, basically. because they do see the source of your fear. They do see that there is trouble on the horizon. They do see that there's some sort of incoming blockage, predictable blockage, or unavoidable delay. Okay, a challenge that cannot be avoided, basically. Okay. They do see that. They do want to talk to you about the importance of being patient. Like they're telling, don't touch, act reckless in the situation. Okay, whatever type of calm and composure that has helped you get until this point, you need to maintain that. Okay. Because I do see that on the other side, okay, like first and foremost, I'm going to start showing you the chaotic messages from the universe as well. First we have, it's a yes, go for it. So there is something that you are hesitant about doing, like should I stay or should I go? Should I go into this direction? Like you want it. You want to do something. You want to either start this new something. You want to continue this specific something. You want to do things a certain way. Or continue. Okay. It depends. It depends because it's a collective reading. So, we also have, this isn't the right time. Basically, these conditions that are making you fear that your wish fulfillment is not supposed to happen, or it's not going to go your way, or everything is going to be sacrificed, or everything is going to go up in flames, or whatever. They're reassuring you, okay, that whatever the case, you have been doing things the right way up until this point, okay? But you need to be patient because unfortunately the type of direct flow, like unstopped and also unstoppable flow that you are trying to create, is being stopped, okay? And it's not going to be able to come in the way you wish until you are protected, basically. So I do see that this group is kind of the energy that I was channeling. I was about to make a little short about the perspective, the trauma-informed perspective on the capacity and the need to stand up for yourself. And so I don't know if I'm going to upload it before or after this video. Therefore, since I haven't filmed it, I am going to talk about it as if it wasn't a reality yet. I don't know if it's going to be still true once everything is out. Sometimes it changes. But basically, what I wanted to talk was that when sometimes perhaps people who early on have experienced a lack in terms of authority standing up for them, of course, it can be harder because you never had someone teaching you how to do that. At the same time, trauma-informed perspective is also means putting the accent on the need to restore that if it wasn't developed. Because when you touch adulthood, whatever it is that you weren't like wasn't naturally given to you, it is still going to be asked. Good news is that you can work that. And it's kind of like, this is also something that can help you go through this experience, this negative experience, in a better way, by connecting with the astral picture, connecting with the bigger picture, where this becomes a task for you, this becomes a spiritual task for you, where you choose to behave in a certain way because you need to assert your power, first and foremost within yourself and on the circumstances. And I see that there's some sort of natural flow, natural downfall of the enemy's forces that is going to happen. But the thing is that, because I also have what you accept is what they get. Someone doesn't want this information to go out. It's like, what you are seeing, because you are on the receiving hand of some negative experience, of some negative energy. So what you are perceiving is constant attack and like confusion, chaos, you don't know what to do. What you are not fully seeing is that the same amount of confusion and chaos that you are receiving is also happening behind the scenes on this, like, the opposing energy, basically. And the other thing that you are not seeing is, by you choosing to not buy into the chaos, you're not trying to cause this chaos. I see that, like, your energy is bothered by this because you were on a flow, like everything was going well, right? And then these other energies started acting a little bit weird. And what you are not seeing, and what your ancestor is trying to tell you, is that the way that where you have been managing, handling at least your own energy, which is the only thing that you can control, basically, is fine. Okay, like, you have been doing the work well, and you are not fully aware of just how much destruction it was causing on the other side. And the thing is that I see that whatever type of opposing energy, they are not going down without a fight, okay? And so you are going to have to stand up for yourself. But the good news is that you are going to be able to embody this secure and stable energy by remaining stable and secure. Because what happens in this myth, I've made tons of videos about this card in particular, is that there's an escalation, basically. There's an escalation, and the only natural outcome of the escalation is that the attacker gets caught, because no one is attacking them. And so they're, at some point, they just get caught. No one is attacking this person. No one is causing the issues on the other side. It's the stability. At this point, it's the stability that is triggering the problems. And this is why it feels so shaky. Because this energy is also considering to quit, and you might not realize that. This energy is truly not as stable as you think they are. You are. You have the power in the situation. Why? Because you can conceal your chaos in your demeanor, in your I wanted to say call to action. I don't know why, like, in your action, but I don't know why it came out call to action. Maybe you feel called to act in a certain way. So I don't know if anyone is a fan. I don't know if anyone is a fan of George of the Jungle, but I just had that. Oh. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that either. I need my pen, but it's in the bag. Yeah, the way you're acting is a reflection of power and stability, okay? So you need to be very firm about that. Don't let this energy, don't let this shaky, chaotic transit fuck up with your mentality, okay? Like, you might have to grab your own horses a little bit tighter than usual, but you're on you're on the right track. I'm on the right track, baby. I was born this way. Self-defense charts, please. 1. Truth hurts. Someone is triggered by you, by the situation, by their own situation. Someone is trying to make their situation everybody's problem. And when it doesn't work, when they are the only one who's acting reckless, it gets worse. Okay, there is someone who is deeply hurt right now, deeply hurt by what they see. Your ancestor is warning you that this person is acting out of their mind, like this person is acting insane. In this myth, I have a dedicated video. But the opponent end up renouncing to their own career. Like, they had worked 40, 50 years plus, maybe, I don't know. But like, in this myth, they were this like gigantic authority within the city about it was a workshop. They would make whole different type of instruments, and then there's this apprentice who comes in, and he starts having new ideas, and he starts studying the work of other artisans within the market, within the city center, and he basically makes up a whole new product that can facilitate everybody's work. And what happens is that his master, his supervisor, his I don't know, there was a name, like there's the apprentice and there's the master, so I guess it's just the master, goes completely crazy. Like, they feel obliterated, even if everything had been done within like full respect of like their position, their norms, whatever. And basically he starts destroying the work of his apprentice, like that. So what happens in the end is that he gets taken away by the police, because of course, like, what are you even doing? Okay, at some point. I'm also seeing one of the final scenes from the movie Cocalos. I love that movie. I don't want to make spoilers though. Okay, let's just there's a character. Okay, there's a character who goes completely insane, and at some point he starts realizing that he cannot make up lies anymore, and so he destroys an entire shop. Now, of course, the sales are affected for a little period of time, but at the same time, the character is progressively removed from the power position, because they broke the law. Like, very, very simply. And yes, being on the receiving end of something so shady and so shaky is uncomfortable. But I see your ancestor is also advising, like, don't run away. Okay, don't run away. There's a boundary that has to be put into place. There's a way to ask for that. There's a way to um, be accompanied through that, basically, even in some cases. But, like, don't quit. Okay? Like, don't quit. This experience, and, like, of course everything would be amazing when, like, everything is amazing when everything is fine, isn't it? But it doesn't always work like that. And this is also the type of experience that you are having. You are learning how to deal with this type of behaviors, with this type of obstacles, with this type of energies, with this type of insecurities as well, because all of a sudden I see that things are shifting a little bit out of your comfort zone, out of what you know how to handle easily. And so you kind of need to work on your sense of stability and security from within. Okay, don't always expect for everything around you to just go the same way so that you can feel calm. At this point in time, you need to work your calm. Meditate. Okay, light up an incense. Make sure that your system remain balanced so that you can also see clearly whenever there is something out of balance that gets thrown your way. It's like, no, I was not supposed to, like, I was supposed to find everything in place, and I walk in and everything is upside down for the third time in a row. No, this is not like this. Of course it's not me. Come on. Of course it's not me. Of course it's not my fault. I was not the one robbing the shop, destroying the invention, setting up things to into flames, like, because there is something that is quite destructive. Okay, like whatever type of action that is being taken behind the scenes is something that is very destructive. Okay, and you are going to have to address it, like, clear, like, why this. Okay, you cannot deny the crime that was done. Basically, it is going to come to a point where it cannot be denied. It's theft, it's destruction, it's erasure, it's a mistake, it's fraud, it's whatever. It's this. I'm sorry. And know that they are with you, okay? Like, this is also what you need to work on. When you go through the situation, you are not alone. My friend, you're not alone. This powerful spiritual protector. Sorry, it's really hot in here. Um, is kind of holding your hand, and they want to show off, as I was saying. So they want to, like, kind of put your faith in them to the test, and you might not be fully ready for that, but it's like, okay, let's do this together. No, I cannot hold your hand physically, of course not, but I can make you feel, I can make you see that I'm here. I can make you receive the right type of response. I can make you receive the right type of answer. I can make you intuitively know that if you are in the right and you speak the truth, you can always defend yourself. It might take longer when your truth gets denied, of course, but if you're saying the truth, you can and you're still alive, you can always defend yourself. In some cases, it might take 20 years. I wasn't seeing something like that in here, okay? But if you're telling the truth, you can always defend yourself. Okay? Especially, if there's this, let's call it supervision. Okay. Maybe you were already acquainted with it, maybe you're not, maybe you needed to remember this. This is going to be different for each and every person, but thank you for tuning in. Group number 1, I am now going to switch to group 2. Alright, group number 2, you had picked Cocalos. That's usually a card, a myth that talks about finances. And so, okay. Again. Oh, okay. Okay. I need to pull out your chaotic messages from the universe as well, but it kind of feels like you need to fuck the fuckers before the fucking fuckers fuck you type of vibe. So, something I see, okay. I see that you're powerful. I see what this is about. Your powerful spiritual guardian, your ancestor, this is someone who doesn't really want to be seen. I see someone kind of lurking in the shadows. Whatever type of protection that you have, this is not. Woo! This is okay. I see what this group is about. This okay. You're you're protected by the type of something that is not to be messed with. It's like so there's this song in Spanish. I can't really remember the lyric right now, but it's like I can act correctly. I can act like a total mess. Spirit always has my back. Like it's the type of situation where first and foremost you're going through some type of difficult interaction, let's call it, where it doesn't matter whether you do good or you do bad. I do see that you're kind of tempted to walk away. Like you are tempted to show your ass and never be seen again. But first spiritual advice is to hold on onto whatever it is that was given to you. Perhaps you just entered a new situation and it's shaky and you're like, maybe I should walk away. But I see that there's some sort of karmic cycle, like you cannot leave until the cycle is completed, or even if you don't want to leave, you cannot move on in the situation until the cycle is completed. Now, what is this cycle about? I see that your protector here is someone who knows a lot about power, and they see that you are dealing with someone, some sort of energy or entity who only has a fake power. So your ancestor, your spiritual protector, this is someone who wants you to have a lot. I see that they want to go on a lot of adventures with you. They kind of want to have a lot of fun with you because they have this strong protective energy. Like they know that they can have your back, okay? And this situation is pissing them off because it's kind of dragging your attention away from everything that the two of you could be doing together. And this is kind of pushing them to a point where they they want to show themselves more to you. They almost want to be seen. You might not have seen them fully, precisely because they're very strong, they're very powerful. So of course they have probably a very intimidating aesthetic, or energy, whatever it is that you are able to capture with your senses. But they almost want to be not only just all up in your face, but I don't see them like scolding you, okay? They want to like motivate you. It's like they are on the side, on the ring side, on the side of the ring with you, like massaging your your back, like, okay, giving you water. But they don't do that usually, okay? They want to have these higher overview over what's happening, and just making sure that you're okay, that you're fine, and in the meantime you're just doing you, and you might not even realize how much you nurture and um, give to them by just being you and going around and having fun, because they kind of live through your experiences. And okay, I didn't want to say it, but now I feel like I have to say, like, vicariously. But like in a good way, okay? They have their own, of course, like they exist in their own right, but um, it's a very particular entity. It's like they have been created for protection or for war. And so yes, they do live vicariously through you, but at the same time, that's their higher purpose. So they are fully fulfilled when they can just follow you around and everyone is happy, basically. Like, your energy is that much restoring for them. And at the same time, this entity it's like it's been too far right now. They want to be all up in the face of whoever is trying to mishandle you at this point in time. I see someone trying to have their hands all over stuff that they shouldn't touch, either stuff that belongs to you, stuff that belongs to other people, and they try to blame you, stuff, just misplaced actions, and they just deny responsibility. So this spiritual protector is like, yeah, I kind of cannot unsee that either, okay? Like, I kind of need you to extend your bravery at this point in time and be strong through the situation until I can be brought into the situation. I see that when they are brought into the situation, it's like game over. Okay, like square. um, so at some point, I see that you are kind of about to reach the breaking point where you're going to realize, okay, there's no way. Like, there's no right way to act in the situation, and instead of choosing to start over, you're going to start acting the way you want to. This is going to be a very healing experience. Like, this is almost like a blessing in disguise for you, because you are kind of giving yourself a violent permission to exist regardless, and to be the happy fool that you know that you can be, because someone has your fucking back. Like, whatever happens. I also have bring sexy back. I have wig and glitter, so it might be time to, because I also have let this go, rather than trying to move away fully. Like, yes, play along a little bit if it's convenient for you, but at some point you're going also to have to take an energetic break and just let the situation unfold a little bit, knowing that your role right now is to hold on as tight as you can. Um, even if it feels like, okay, I do feel like it feels like a needy energy from you, and you don't want this. You would like to be able to just let go, but there is something attached to the situation that has to be treated energetically. I also have take care of your body. So I do see you benefiting from being extra loving towards yourself. There might be someone in the back who gets really triggered whenever you treat yourself, whenever you go out, whenever you look good, smell good, just live your life, and you are going to do that way more. So self-defense charms. You are going to have to believe as firmly as iron that whoever is trying to flaunt power is fake as fuck. And I see that this person or this energy or these people are kind of going undetected for a little bit, but you need to realize that that's the only reason why they can pretend and tell themselves that they have this fake power. So it's just a matter of time before the hero energy gets brought into the situation, okay? And it's going to be like 3,500. So I had talked to a true friend. No, okay, I see it again. Like this energy is scary. This energy is really scary. They know that you might be scared of them. But it's like, yeah, I have this, but it's because I would. For group number 2, okay. And they do want you to see a friend in them, basically, okay. They do want you to trust them. They do want you to also, this is also why it was coming up, they want to be gossiping with you about the situation. So if you have spaces where you can be blunt and safe and honest about the situation, please go in there, because this is going to also charge with energy this entity, because they want to laugh with you. They want to release the tension with you. They do see that it's bad to stand because it feels very disrespectful, but you need to understand that it's just a delay. Okay, it's just a delay where you also need to be more in touch with this scary, powerful energy. Perhaps you kind of felt it was there, but now they want you to really be in touch with them. Now they really want you to acknowledge their presence, and even if anyone around you denies that, you know they're there, basically. Okay, like they want you to acknowledge their love for you, and they're also willing to show you that they deserve it, basically. Okay, you, for now, it's probably just about taking a break and just letting them take you out a little bit, but like in good terms. So this is a card that talks about fake power, but can also talk about you enhancing yourself for a little bit, showing off for them. I don't know why I'm getting a slightly sexual energy from this spiritual protector. Like they might find you enticing in that sense. And this is probably also why they like to spend so much time alone with you. Oh my fucking god, what I heard. Okay. Yeah, totally. Okay? Totally. Totally. um, but I'm also getting that you're not really supposed, like, you don't have to feel forced to do anything about this information. Okay, this is like their side of the responsibility to handle. They kind of wanting you to let you know that they, even if their own state of existence, they want you to acknowledge, and they want you to feel acknowledged in that sense. Okay, like, yes, you are triggering like that. It's even for like this, I'm a spiritual entity, you know. Woo, okay. I see someone with teeth. All right, thank you very much. Group number 2. I am now going to move on to group number 3. See you soon. Group number 3. Sorry. You chose Europe. Chose Europe, which is a card that has been coming up twice during today's reading. You have an ascended master within your spiritual team. This is someone who either used to go against the grain or used to speak to large crowds, but like their arguments were a little bit against the norm. I'm getting someone who used to speak against the government, someone who was being viewed as if they had very odd political views. Ooh, someone might have an ancestor who had been killed because of their political views, or they were isolated and they just couldn't be either a part of social activities, or they had to struggle a lot in order to get food. I see that this kind of remained in their energy, meaning that this is someone who feels more comfortable reaching out to you when you are lonely. They feel like they can have more direct face-to-face with you. They can deliver their messages to you in a more direct way when you just take some time for yourself. I see that this ancestor, this spiritual protector, is kind of always on the lookout for things to be delivered to you, for food and drinks and life sustenance, basically, precisely because they didn't have it, or it was denied to them. Like something was denied to them, some sort of comfort. Could have been a type of level of living. They might have, okay, some of your ancestors had been forced to live in a farm, but like amongst the animals. Like they had been humiliated like that. They had been put through that much struggle, and I see that they kind of want you to acknowledge them in whatever type of comfort or luxury or like extra leg up that you have in life right now. It's like, yo, that it comes from my struggle. Okay, I started inscripting this type of information in the DNA because I suffered that much. So, money, money, money must be funny. This ancestor is like, um, it's kind of advising you against the risks of isolating yourself too much right now. I see you a little bit scared of how you might be met by the outside. And so your ancestor is like, okay, you are right. There is a reason for you to have a protective outlook or to have a protective demeanor, but that cannot stop your ambition. Okay, you need to be able to follow the fil rouge. You need to be able to follow the fairy, basically, to follow the white rabbit. And you need to be able to maintain some sort of no, exactly, because this is a reverse. You have to be able to maintain. Who is that? Right. You need to be able to maintain that type of go-getter energy, that type of ongoing movement, regardless of what happens. They want to shower you with money. You need to. Okay, for some of you, you need to unmask someone, or you need to make sure that someone gets punished, or that someone get caught for what they did. Someone is guilty as fuck in the situation, but unfortunately, it takes a little patience and it takes a little brain in order for you to uncover the situation. And so there's some sort of box where a person or a group of people is trying to put you in, and you are not supposed to stay in there. Okay, you are not supposed to conform to whatever it is that they are trying to portray you as, or whatever type of existence they are trying to condemn you to. This is also a way for you to heal your ancestry, because there is the refusal to repeat the suffering that was imposed upon those who came before you. So I have, just do it, trust your instinct. Someone doesn't want you to have this information. Use this to your advantage, birds chirping. Yeah, I see you shifting, and I see you being guided to do so. From hyper cautious to, yeah, okay, I have the greater picture now. And almost acting a little bit reckless, but not in a bad way, in the sense where you don't even second guess yourself when it's time to point the finger, because you know that the hands that you are pointing your finger to are dirty as fuck. Like, this crime is still fresh. There are still traces all over the place that can be easily analyzed and brought to light. Stay focused. There's an energy who's probably trying to drag you away from. Yeah, I see that you were kind of. kind of forcing yourself to sit pretty, but this is how you are asserting power. And you were just giving out orders. This is what I ask. This is what's supposed to be delivered. This is how I am doing things. This is how things are going to be done. Like, you are just asserting your presence, you're asserting your energy, and you are asserting your way forward, your preferred way forward. And I see someone who absolutely wants you to speak in another way. They want you to speak otherwise. They want you to say that you're going to do a thing and that you're going to do another, and you don't. And as long as you continue to sit pretty, know what your tasks are, know what your responsibilities are, know what is your home and what isn't, know what is a part of your responsibility as a human being and what isn't, and all of that cascade of responsibilities. As long as you're firm as fuck with them, people can tell you whatever, you know. If you know that you have to connect point A to point B, and you do connect point A and point B, and in the meantime person or people XYZ are stealing, and after you connected your point A to point B, you're stealing, and they're like, but you're connected to point C, and you're like, no, first and foremost, and you're still stealing. You see the point? If you're good at keeping track of you, it becomes harder for people to lead you and mislead you into losing track of you. So, I feel like this is everything. Just see if there is anything else. Like, in terms of practical informations, I feel like this is everything. I'm just trying to capture something else about this spiritual presence, and I was getting that for some of it, this is not someone who belonged to your family. This is someone who is connected to you because of the type of soul that you developed in this lifetime. And this type of soul, this soul cluster, you and this other person, you work together in a previous lifetime. Like, you kind of know each other, and you came back and they didn't, or they passed away in another. But it's kind of like you don't know them really well in real life, and you might just low-key feel their presence in certain experiences that you have. And now this person, or this entity, wants to give you validation for some sort of feeling, some sort of ongoing betrayal that you have been experienced. This is something that you share with them. This is something that you have in common with them. Perhaps you could not relate that much on certain experiences with people of your own family, but then when you connect to this energy, I gave you some examples, but something else that I was getting is that you might have studied biographies of people, and there was a way where the stability was taken away from the person that spoke to you, the way people around them reacted. Okay, I see this entity having to change in the dark, having to transform in the dark, and people not really doing much about it. I see this person, this entity, becoming a little bit of a beast in order to free themselves. For some of you, they regret stuff that they did. They were put in position to have to do stuff that they regret in terms of violent behavior, or having to kill to feed themselves in a way that they didn't feel it was honorable, or having to hide. I see someone having to hide something, like somebody else is dead near to them, and not really being able to dispose of the body in a proper way. Like they were put in a inhuman situation where they had to do something inhuman, and it was really intense. And they know that you can relate to that, but they also want to shield you from that. So you might go through experiences that are kind of borderline, okay? Like they might touch the edge of something worse. And it's to clear out that fear. Basically, you are working in connection with this entity. Now I'm seeing that the way that you and this entity might have entered in contact is different, okay? Like some of you, I see them working with you as they were already past these experiences. They were in their older years and you were younger, and so they kind of had this mysterious energy. Ooh, okay. You kind of could not understand them back then, and this kind of created a weird karma for you. And they love you, okay? They love you. They don't want you to suffer, but you have to go through that now, okay? So they want to hold your hands in the roughest moments, to make sure that you also get the reward, okay? They want to make sure that you know that this is karmic work that you are shedding, okay? That there is the light at the end of the tunnel. But you have to be kind of violent in order to get out. Like you are being put into some very dark holes. You are going to have to break a nail or two in order to climb your way back up. I see it happening quite sometimes. Like this could be a cycle for you. You might feel like, when is this going to end, rather? Again, transformation here, the horns. This is the beast. But it is going better, okay? Like, yes, you are tired, but you need to push through the layers. There's no way out, okay? You can go under it, you can go over it, you have to go through it. You have to go through it, okay? For others of you, they are kind of, this is an entity that was assigned to you so that you could shed karma from your family. So these harsh experiences, this is something that you are paying because of the skin, body, DNA, whatever type of external shape you have. And I'm not saying that in terms of social perception, but in terms of DNA heritage, like what you actually use as physical material to create the body that you are going to embody throughout a lifetime. It's cells and blood from other humans, other individuals who have had other experiences before you. And I see that for some of you, your direct family members went through some very dark experience, like dark and twisted experiences, and so you might have to experience similar levels of fear, but choosing over and over again to like do the right choice, basically to act differently, to break the pattern, to choose your intuition over fear over and over again. But it's like it almost feels like a torturous process. And this is probably why you are connected with this entity who went through torture. They are teaching you about that. They are teaching you how to survive that. And perhaps this is someone who, when they were alive, they would never do that. This is also why, for some of you, this is why they are with you. When the two of you met in the 3D, whatever the situation was, they were not willing nor able to teach you about the wisdom, because it did not even look like wisdom to them. Like, it was just this inhuman, dark stain in their life. And they are now realizing that they could have still taught you something about it. And they are kind of trying to do it now. Whew. Just seeing if there's anything else. Yeah, they are the master, or they were the master of using pain for power. Like, and they're kind of boasting a little bit about it. Like, do you realize who you are connected with? Like, do you realize that the amount of shitty experiences that you went through, I can teach you how to make gold out of that. Like, them becoming a spirit, they are way more in their mystical energy right now. I see them really in kind of, I don't want to say embodying, because it's different, of course, but what I'm seeing in terms of figure is someone really representing the aesthetic of the alchemist, like lots of accessories. I don't know, wavy clothes that allows them to do magic easier, in an easier way. But yeah, there's this thing of transformation in the dark that they are helping you to get a hang of. To find your inner beast. To believe in your mission and not just be passive and be like, yeah, it's my mission. No, it's my fucking mission. Shut up. Okay. Thank you, group 3. Yeah, you're literally breaking free from something. And it's something big. And when it's on the other end of this, it's just as big. But I see that it's like a cliffhanger after a trap, after a downfall, after a naufrage, after a beast attack, after a theft, and then, like, but you were resolving that and learning from that, and this entity, this spiritual protector, was with you. All the aha moments that you were having along the journey, oh, but this is what I'm learning, this is what is teaching me, this is what I'm fixing from within. This was them. Those downloads came from them. Okay, they had the type of nonchalant knowledge, perhaps leaving their physical body, also allow them to have a more lucid perception of everything that they learned, willingly or unwillingly. And so you're a tough cookie, and you need to remember that. And you need to unearth that if you haven't had an experience with that yet. Perhaps this is something that you have kept concealed, something that you felt that it was there. And it was like, and then back. And then right back. No. Full out. Full out. They're not there holding your back, holding your hand. So why should they be able to hold you back? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let your intuition guide you. I feel like you got this way more than what you want to believe, but it is going to hurt. It's hurting right now, or it has been hurting in the past. And it's like, but I have to be alive. Like, but I have to be alive. Someone else had to be alive? Oh, now he's smiling. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Alright, I feel like that was the bell. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that this gave you clarity. If you feel called to, leave a comment down below. See you soon. Bye.